This week on The Chef's Line, the professionals from Sydney restaurant Sokyo go up against 4 home cooks who think they can beat the chefs at their own game.
I'm pretty pumped up with a healthy dose of nerves in reserve.
The home cooks will showcase their best Japanese cuisine as they battle against Sokyo's chain of command, starting with the apprentice chef right up to the head chef.
Everyone calls me Turbo because I'm always moving around. I don't slow down. I never slow down.
It's the ultimate food fight to discover if delicious home-cooked meals
They exhibited the true spirit of Japanese cuisine.
can beat the refinement of a restaurant dish.
It's absolutely delicious.
Judged by executive chef Dan Hong, renowned chef Mark Olive, and food writer Melissa Leong.
And let's cook!
Which home cook has what it takes to make it to the end of the chef's line? Japanese Week kicks off with 4 passionate home cooks ready to put their skills to the test. Education assistant Blaney, her love of Japanese anime led to her passion for Japanese cuisine.
In 2005, I finally got to go to Japan. I love the food, I love the culture, I just love everything about it.
I've just got some bean shoots here.
Adam from Brisbane has always felt a connection to the culture.
I'm very much a child of the Karate Kid generation, always had an interest in Japanese culture, and I guess food followed from that.
Japanese-born Naoko learned to cook from her mother.
My mother is a professional chef, so she always cooks. That influenced me a lot.
I'm cooking tonight for my Australian side of family. It's beautiful. Oh.
And finally, physiotherapist and mum, Larissa.
What type of beans are they?
Japanese. So I had children about 4 years ago, and that's when I became really passionate about cooking Japanese cuisine for the health benefits, but also the wonderful flavour as well.
Welcome to the Chef's Line. This week, we are celebrating Japanese cuisine.
So who's ready to cook some Japanese food?
Absolutely.
Yeah!
Definitely.
Home cooks, you're about to face off against the Chef's Line of one of Sydney's best Japanese restaurants. That is Sokyo.
Sokyo has established itself as one of Australia's leading Japanese restaurants, celebrating contemporary flavours against a stylish modern backdrop.
Can you cut 2 perfect pieces?
The restaurant is run with customary precision by executive chef Chase Kojima.
Here at Sokyo, we give it an Australian twist with the Japanese flavors, using traditional techniques, but giving it a little fun and sexiness and more life to it. Finish it with some chives.
Thank you, Chase. Delicious.
My philosophy is we keep it very minimal. We use the finest Australian produce and giving it that mix with the Japanese flavors and twists.
That's extraordinary lamb.
It's so delicious.
Well, welcome Sokyo and welcome Executive Chef Chase. Can you please introduce your chef's line?
So we have Rebecca, she's our 3rd-year apprentice. Alex, our station chef. And then we have Daniel, my sous chef. And myself, Chase, I'm the executive chef at Sokyo.
First to cook this week is apprentice chef Rebecca. Please step up. You are first in line to face off against our 4 home cooks.
Rebecca, what do you think of your competition here?
They're looking pretty confident, but once we start the cook, they'll be shaken up.
Whoa. And now to find out what you're all going to cook, we want to see up on the pass a plate of tempura.
Tempura is a method for frying vegetables or seafood. The secret lies in the batter, which should be light and fluffy for it to achieve the desired crispy finish and crunch. Tempura is often served with rice or noodles and dipping sauce.
It's really up to you what type of tempura you're going to do. And picking the best plate tonight, Melissa.
Excellent. Well, keep it light, keep it crisp, and I look forward to seeing what you come up with.
As our blind tasting judge, Melissa will taste each dish without knowing if it was made by a home cook or the apprentice.
You have 80 minutes. Let's cook!
I'm making
Tempura with prawns, scallops, and some of my favourite vegetables. Eggplant, enoki mushrooms, and gem squash, which is my favourite vegetable at the moment. I just eat them all the time. They're a bit hard. Trying to keep it sort of as real and close to how it should be, I guess.
So what sauce are you going to have?
Okay, so with the tempura, I'm going to do like just a salt for dipping, and also a matcha salt, so matcha green tea mixed with a bit of salt.
Yep.
And then I'm also going to do a little dipping sauce, a tensuyu, I think it's called, dipping sauce. Yeah. This is just going to be a simmered tofu, so I'm going to simmer it in a kombu dashi, then just simmer it till it's warm, and then serve it with a little bit of wasabi and grated.
A bit of heat from it.
Yeah, I just love tofu. It's just one of my favourite things to cook with.
Naoko,
Yes.
what kind of tempura are you doing tonight?
I'm making kakiage tempura, which is, I don't know, in English, it's mixed.
Yes,
Tempura,
I love
we call?
kakiage.
Yeah.
Yes. It's almost like a tempura fritter.
Yes,
In a way, where it's
correct. Yeah.
very finely shredded vegetables coated in the batter and fried.
The three ways I'm cooking kakiage is carrot and sweet potato and wakame subi. And another one is coriander and onions. And the last one is corn and cheese.
They are not really traditional Japanese ingredients, but I'll create it myself. I love cheese, and who doesn't like cheese? So anything with cheese, it's nice.
Okay, so we're just making a tensu, which is a tempura dipping sauce. So I've thrown some kombu, some katsuobushi, which is bonito flakes, and then some dried shiitake mushrooms. Doing a bit of a spin on a night out at the izakaya. A bunch of lads at a Japanese pub and ordering a sort of variety of things to have as snacks with a few beers. I'm a big fan of the whole idea of Nikkei cuisine, which really comes from the Japanese immigrants in Peru.
Adam, what kind of tempura are you doing tonight?
Okay, we're doing a few things. We're doing shiitake mushrooms in my dashi. There's some tofu, there's sesame sauce. There's also oysters. Also doing two different coloured batters, a really dark batter with a good black Japanese beer, and your more traditional super white batter.
You worried about the fact that you're doing too many different things?
Yeah, there's a bit going on, isn't there?
I'm making crispy prawn and wakame tempura balls. I'm serving them with a tofu wasabi edamame cream. So to make the prawn and wakame balls, it's inspired by my children. I've made a meatball, I guess as Australians would know it, with roughly chopped fresh raw prawn, some rehydrated wakame, so a type of Japanese seaweed, which is very, very good for you, sort of like spinach on steroids. And I've mixed that through with some egg whites to help bind it together, a few panko breadcrumbs, and a bit of lemon zest too. That's my secret ingredient in there as well.
While the home cooks take 4 different approaches to the challenge, apprentice chef Rebecca prepares to create Sokyo's popular version of tempura.
I'm making capsicum tempura. It's one of my favourite dishes actually at Sokyo. There are 4 main components to this dish. It's the crab filling, the salmon tartare, the tempura batter, and the yuzu soy dressing. The yuzu soy is basically just 2 parts of soy and 1 part of yuzu. Yuzu is a citrus. You don't want to kill the flavour of the soy or the yuzu, you just want to find the perfect balance. It's really important that the sauce isn't too salty, as the other components of the dish have salt. I'm just tasting it, making sure it's okay. It's a tad strong. So you want the yuzu to really kick in, and you don't want the salt of the soy to be overpowering. Add a bit more water and we'll see.
You all right?
So salty.
So salty. Put water.
I did.
Put a little.
Yeah, you can definitely always go too far with adding too much water to thin it down. Better.
It's Japanese week. Sokyo apprentice chef Rebecca is battling 4 home cooks in a tempura challenge.
30 minutes, guys. You've got 30 minutes left.
Tonight's blind tasting judge is Melissa, who'll pick a winner without knowing whether she's tasting the dish of a home cook or the apprentice.
Oh, tempura. I love anything deep fried.
What are you looking for in the perfect tempura?
The eternal pursuit is lightness of texture. I'm really very open-minded so long as the end result is a light and crisp, crunchy batter.
I think that's the secret to a lot of tempura chefs. They don't like to reveal what's in the batter because that is the main component.
And for good reason. When it's great, it's great.
The batter itself is basically 3 parts of tempura flour and 1 part of potato starch. And basically you just add ice and soda water and you just mix it gently.
The best way to do it is with your hands so you don't overwork it and develop the gluten too much. I'm feeling very nervous with my team of chefs watching behind me.
The secret that I use to make the butter crispy is using corn flour and low protein flour. I mix the flour with cold water.
Icy cold water. And just don't mix too much.
Got my batter going on at the moment, using chopsticks rather than a fork or a whisk or something, because the key to a good batter for tempura is actually not over-activating any gluten in there, otherwise it ends up sticky.
It's definitely a risk doing 2 different batters.
A really dark batter with a good black Japanese beer and your more traditional batter.
The idea was to have sort of 2 different colours contrasting on the plate.
So this is the first time I've used a deep fryer. Wish me luck. I am a bit worried because getting the batter nice and crispy is a really hard thing to do, but I'll do my best.
That's good. It's all good.
I am concerned tonight with the prawn balls that the adding of the breadcrumbs and the egg white and the mixing of that through might have made the end result a bit dense, but I was scared that they would break apart in a deep fryer. I've just got to make sure that the prawn meat's cooked all the way through to the centre. So when I've made them in the past, it's obviously a big disappointment if you cut it open and it's still raw in the middle. Hey! So that was good, that was 4 minutes. I'm gonna make more now.
So the crab filling is basically spanner crab, Persian feta, ricotta and mayo, and I made that into a paste and then I rolled it into balls and placed it on the capsicum.
The hardest part of this dish is definitely frying the tempura. The batter's feeling a tad thick.
I have the oil temperature on 175.
I'm flicking batter to get a nice thin tenkatsu on the outside.
It's hard because she's used to throwing it, you know what I mean? Careful.
If I was in a bigger fryer, I would go like that, but because I had a fryer yay big, you dip your hand in the batter and then you flash the oil on it so the small bits of tenkatsu get stuck to the capsicum.
She's probably better than all of us.
Just to finish the batch of coriander one. So I'm making now corn and cheese one. Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
It reached over here.
Sorry. It's popping.
Oh my God. The Japanese are really big on getting everything sorted and set in place. This one's now been twice fried, which is quite the opposite of what I've got going on at the moment. There's a little bit of stuff everywhere, but we'll get there, you know?
5 minutes, guys. You got 5 minutes till you need to get your plates on the pass.
Okay. I'm happy with my tempura today. Yes, it's tasty.
Have 10 seconds. Come on,
Adam, let's go.
3, 2, 1.
That was absolutely mental. just so much going on and there's a little bit of stress involved.
Look how much you made. It's amazing.
But I'm pretty sure the judges are going to be happy with what's up there.
It's Japanese week and the tempura challenge is over.
Nice work, guys.
Our home cooks went up against Sokyo's apprentice chef, Rebecca. Melissa, tonight's blind tasting judge, will now sample all 5 dishes and choose a winner without knowing whether it was prepared by a home cook or the professional.
Wow, I have never seen so much golden fried deliciousness on one table before. I can't wait to get stuck in.
Seafood and vegetable tempura with green tea dipping sauce.
I think this looks absolutely gorgeous. The tempura looks pale and crispy. That's exactly the way that the Japanese intend it to be consumed, and I'm very much looking forward to getting stuck in. The prawn's lovely. It's really sweet, really tender, really perfectly cooked on the inside. To have so many different textures and colours going on, to have that really beautiful light batter that's crispy, and then also some really lovely cooling, refreshing elements to give the palate a little bit of a break so you can go back and enjoy more. I think that this was very well-rounded and overall pretty good.
Prawn and wakame tempura balls.
I love the balance of colours and textures on this plate. Tell me, what's this foam or puree on the bottom?
Edamame, tofu and wasabi puree.
Ooh. The flavour was pretty good. I can still get the prawn even with the wasabi edamame puree. But the texture looks quite bready on the inside. Was this sort of blended with some panko crumbs?
Yes,
or...
panko.
I would rather taste more prawn and less bread filler. Otherwise, it's a really lovely idea.
This is crab stuffed capsicum tempura.
What struck me immediately about this dish is the elegance of it. Everything is uniform and perfect.
The crab's been mixed with feta cheese and a little bit of mayonnaise. And on top, it is a salmon tartare.
Wow, good Lord.
Yeah.
I would have been worried that the cheese might overpower the crab. But you know what? It really works. It kind of is almost like these layers of flavours and textures just sort of unfolding. It's really, really quite lovely.
And what about the dipping sauce?
This tempura is really well seasoned. It's got a lot of flavour on its own. The dipping sauce was a little on the salty side, but not a deal breaker.
This is a mixed tempura.
This is a feast for 10. Wow.
There are 2 different types of batter, one light, one made with a dark ale. So almost like a Japanese beer batter.
Whoa, this is like quicksand.
That is a black sesame dipping sauce.
The oil has seeped into the batter, and that only comes from the oil not being hot enough to form that really great crispy crust and dehydrate the outside. I really like the home-style presentation of this particular plate, but the person has tried to achieve a little bit too much. They'd have pared it back to a few less elements. They might have been able to really focus on getting that batter exactly right.
This is tempura 3 ways, or otherwise known as kakiage.
Look at that. You can see all of the elements in there.
Oh, you hear that? They're all crunchy.
She's making me hungry.
Well, I don't think there's anything more satisfying than that crunch that you get from something that is perfectly fried. And I'm really happy to report the taste of each of these fritters is a unique pairing and really, really well balanced. I really liked it.
5 plates of tempura on the pass. You've got to decide.
I'm well on my way to making my decision.
It's Japanese week, and our 4 home cooks and apprentice chef Rebecca have served up their best version of tempura. And blind tasting judge Melissa is about to announce the winning dish.
Wow, Japanese week, and the first battle being tempura. Really saw that focus, that attention to detail and how precise you are, and that really demonstrated the true spirit of Japanese cooking.
But who really wants this?
I think we all do.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
You guys are too polite. It's very Japanese. Very Japanese.
Executive Chef Chase, how do you think Rebecca went?
I think she did really well. Seeing the other contestants cooking too, like, I think it's a pretty close one.
So, Melissa, which plate on the pass was your favourite?
The crab stuffed capsicum tempura. Whose was that? Well done, apprentice Rebecca. Are you feeling proud of a win for Sokyo this evening?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think there'll be many more to come throughout the week.
Oh, you hear that, home cooks? You better pick up your game.
Absolutely.
Well, I really loved this dish. For me, it had the elegance and the finesse, and with that tartare on top, the raw and the cooked, the hot and the cold, it just tied together so well and beautifully, beautifully executed. So well done.
Melissa, which plate did not live up to your expectations?
Very tough. But for me, it came down to execution, and the plate that didn't stack up for me this evening was the mixed tempura plate.
That's me.
It's you. I'm sorry, Adam.
No, not a problem.
In this case, maybe just a few too many elements to execute in the time period, but honestly, for me, it's about communicating a story and a personality, and I saw your personality in here, and that's really a wonderful thing to see.
Thank you.
Well, sorry, Adam, it was a tough competition, so that means you are going home tonight. But congratulations, apprentice chef Rebecca from Sokyo. You got the best plate on the pass.
I felt pretty ecstatic, but I didn't want to jump up and down. I like to win, but I like to stay gracious about it.
Thanks, Chase.
Tonight, the competition gets tougher. For our 3 talented home cooks.
And I like noodles. Good girl.
There's mum and physiotherapist Larissa.
I've been cooking Japanese food more and more since I've had my children.
If you've got these things in the pantry, you've got an instant meal.
I love to eat Japanese food and I love the flavours of Japanese food, but the health aspect is a big draw card for me and for my family.
It's good for us, why not? It's beautiful. Oh.
Japanese-born Naoko has inherited her culinary know-how.
My mother is a professional chef. That influenced me a lot. She taught me how to cook.
This is delicious. Is that right? Oh, that's nice.
An adoring enthusiast of all things Japanese, Blaney.
I love the food, I love the culture, I love the country.
I just can't help it. I just love it.
I just can't get enough.
We have dinner.
All our home cooks will put their skills to the test against the professionals from Restaurant Sokyo.
Can you cut 2 perfect pieces?
Executive Chef Chase runs his kitchen with detailed precision and creative flair.
Using Japanese traditional techniques. Here at Sokyo, we give an Australian twist with the Japanese flavors.
This is Japan and Australia coming together. Wow.
Keep it very minimal, let the produce shine. Some chives, but giving it a little fun, sexiness, and more life to it.
I'm in heaven. Thank you, Chef.
It's so delicious. Thank you very much.
This week, we are celebrating Japanese cuisine.
So who's the best home cook here?
It could be anyone.
She's pretty good.
Home cooks, you are cooking your way up the chef's line of one of Australia's best Japanese restaurants, Sokyo. Executive Chef Chase. Who's next in the chef's line to cook tonight?
It's going to be Alex, our station chef.
how do you rate Alex's chances this evening?
Well, he has the finesse of working at our sushi bar. His knife skills are pretty up the notch, and wish him all the best.
Station Chef Alex, it's time for you to step up and represent your restaurant.
How you feeling, Alex?
A bit nervous because my executive chef watching me. Still, I'll do my best.
Now to find out what you're going to cook. Tonight we would like to taste your best Tataki.
Deceptively simple yet technical, Tataki refers to two methods of preparing fish or meat, lightly seared and marinated, or chopped and served raw. Similar to Japanese sashimi, Tataki celebrates the beauty of raw ingredients.
Choosing the best plate on the pass will be one of us. Tonight, that's going to be you, Dan.
Oh, great, great. I love Tataki.
Dan will taste and judge everyone's creations without knowing if it was made by a home cook or by station chef Alex.
You have 90 minutes until you need your plates on the pass, so let's cook.
What I love about Japanese food is precision. Always look for perfect. Doesn't come right away. You have to practice like 5 years or 10 years to do it.
Being the only Japanese cook in this competition, I don't feel stress or pressure, but probably I should.
So tonight I'm making a beef tataki with the fillet, and I'm going to put it through a salad. So freshen it up with some daikon, cucumber, some little pickled shimeji mushrooms, which are a Japanese mushroom, but I've opted to put some chili powder into the pickling liquid just to give a little surprise to the salad. But the most important part of the dish is probably what I'm holding. So I'm just trying to trim it down a little bit, and then I'll be able to sear it off and pop it in some marinade. That searing on the outside, I do tend to sear it quite strongly to get that a bit more of a crust. The technique I use for this is that I sear it off first and then marinate with some soy, mirin and sake. It's actually then going to go into the fridge to come down to room temperature for the salad. I'm really passionate about this dish because it's so light and healthy but so flavoursome. So I'm excited to cook it tonight.
Yes, I'm making tataki today 3 ways.
So one is a beef tataki, and another one was salmon tataki, and the other one is cucumber tataki.
So 3 different ways of tataki, actually. I just sear the beef and marinate to this soy sauce.
Most difficult thing was making the beef right. Yeah, inside has to be raw, which I don't see until I actually slice it.
So far, yeah, it's going well, yes.
Naoko,
hey.
What are you doing?
I'm making salmon tataki now. It's a different type of tataki. It's namero.
And so this is a very classic hand dicing method for satay. So it's quite therapeutic?
It is. I like it. So when you think mince, any mince that I'm looking for.
Yeah, wonderful. And then you'll put a red miso.
Yes, miso and soy sauce.
Wonderful.
Yes. And a little bit of ginger. Taste something different, I think. Yeah, that's fun. That's more fun, I think.
Wonderful. Well, I'll leave you to your salmon tataki.
Thank you.
And we'll see you at the end.
Thank you.
And tonight I'm making a salmon tataki, marinating in the soy sauce, mirin, sake, sugar. What inspired me to make it was on one of my very first trips to Japan in Tokyo, I went to a sushi restaurant, and one of my most favourite meals I've ever had was just a lightly seared salmon on rice. So I've sort of taken that memory and I've mixed it up with some other things that I like to do. Because tataki is quite a simple, basic dish, I think good produce is number one. And luckily I had some fantastic salmon today.
So what tataki are you doing today?
Okay, well, it doesn't look like any tataki at the moment, but it's actually marinating in the fridge, but I'm doing a salmon tataki. So I am going to put some sesame seeds on it, and then I'm serving it with umeboshi and cucumber pickle and sesame spinach salad and a daikon radish salad and some rice, because I have to have rice with everything. So a few different things put together, but I think they really complement the tataki.
Dan's the blind judge tonight, so we'll leave it up to him, but get cracking.
Thanks.
Station chef Alex is preparing a tuna tataki with asparagus, shiitake mushrooms, and featuring restaurant Sokyo's signature carbonised leek aioli.
Leek is quite good match with the tuna, and I want a more extra charcoal grill flavor. That's why I burn it today. I'm gonna burn it, and I'm gonna take some ash in it. I'm gonna make a powder, and I'm gonna put in the sauce. And then I put onions, carrots, white miso, and mirin, sake, soy, vinegar, lemon juice, and garlic. All the balance is come together. It doesn't taste just burnt, but it gives another flavor into it. I have to get it right, the leek sauce, perfectly, because that's gonna be main sauce. I'm kind of obsessed with perfect. I have to be perfect.
Chase, tataki seems really simple, but it's really not, is it?
Yeah, you can keep it simple, but what Alex is doing from Sokyo, there's a lot of hidden things on the plate that you can't actually see, but you taste. I think it all depends on if he made the sauce delicious, and obviously the tuna looks really good, so.
So you think he's doing well?
I think he's doing really well, actually. I'm pretty surprised. It's never gonna be perfect, but we always trying to make it better, and I think that's the thing that really counts.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much. I'll leave you to watch Alex cooking.
Thank you.
You've got 30 minutes until we need your plate up on the pass, thanks.
3 passionate home cooks and station chef Alex are creating their versions of the quintessentially Japanese dish tataki.
It's one I've made for my friends many times, particularly as an entree dish.
They all aim to impress tonight's blind tasting judge Dan, who won't know who prepared which dish.
So tataki, deceptively simple dish, shouldn't taste simple though.
That's right. I mean, tataki is really, it's like a Japanese carpaccio. It's thinly sliced marinated meat or fish. If it's seared, you need a super hot pan. But it's really all about what you pair with a tataki. Is it going to be a spicy dressing? Is it going to be a ponzu? It could be some type of soy ginger number.
And with those flavour profiles, it's got to really marry with the protein.
Because you don't want a bland plate of tataki.
I made 3 ways of tataki. I have beef and salmon and cucumbers.
And this sauce is served with beef. I'm using tahini for my sesame sauce. In Japan, we call sesame paste, which is the same thing. So, yes.
It was really difficult to slice tataki beef because it's so delicate. Inside still rare.
I'm happy with it, yeah. It's yum.
It's better to slice really thin. If it's thick, it's gonna be chewy.
I haven't overcooked the edge or anything, so I'm happy with it.
The tuna tataki that Alex is cooking, it's really special. It took a long time to figure out how we're gonna make this dish. With Alex being a sushi chef, he's really organized, he's really good with his knives.
I just think where is the best part, and then I just trim it nicely and square.
Do it in a fry pan with oil.
And I just sear it. Counting 8 seconds of each side. Just if you can sear it perfectly, like all the sided, that'll be perfect tuna tataki.
Okay, I'm gonna put sesame seeds on it and fry it. I made a salmon tataki. The recipe I based on one of the best meals I've ever had in Japan ever, which I just rolled in sesame seeds, one of my favourite things, just to enhance the flavour. Most critical thing is to not burn the outside and not to cook it all the way through, so just cook it perfectly. It's a little bit scary cooking against chefs from such an amazing restaurant. I'm right up near the chef when I'm cooking, so try not to look at them too much. That's looking good. I think it's cooked probably a little bit more than some other people would do tataki, but I like it like that. But unless I've forgotten something, which I'm actually starting to think maybe I have, I'm doing good time-wise. Yeah.
You have 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
What I love about this dish is obviously the tataki is the hero of the dish, but the little other surprise elements like the pickled mushroom give a surprise punch, a flavour. Obviously the radish has a little bit of heat to it as well. And then that's broken up by the freshness of some cucumber.
We're getting to that time to have your plate on the pass.
I just wanted to represent 3 different tataki. Cucumber, mashed cucumber and mashed salmon is not really common in Australia, so I wanted to show what tataki is for Japanese.
With the salmon tataki, I also made a daikon radish salad, pickled cucumber and umeboshi salad. Different flavours, but I feel like they all complement each other really well.
1 minute, everybody, 1 minute.
To make tuna tataki tonight, like what I did, it's quite complicated. There's different kind of cooking involved in it. But tuna tataki is like, as I did it, like quite beautiful tonight.
Just in time.
Bring into the past, like I saw all the tataki looks really amazing. That kind of made me nervous because they did a good job as well.
Our 3 remaining home cooks and the station chef from restaurant Sokyo have just created their best take on the Japanese dish tataki. Now Judge Dan will taste their creations without knowing if it was made by a home cook or by the professional.
Oh, another night
wow.
of intensity and really, really precision cooking.
Well, look, they look like some very beautiful plates here, and they've really killed it tonight with the presentation.
Dan, sesame encrusted salmon tataki with wasabi mayo and daikon radish.
Well, it looks beautiful. I mean, it looks like a light, healthy lunch, you know, especially complete with the bowl of rice. Beautiful, nice spinach there. And I love that they encrusted the salmon with some black and white sesame seeds to make it really next level. It's absolutely delicious. I love the flavour of the salmon. The sesame adds that crunch, that nuttiness to it. The sear on the salmon is nice and light. Salmon's still rare. Daikon radish, the greens and the rice and the wasabi mayo all together, delicious. Everything on this plate is the star. It's great.
Dan, this is a beef tataki with pickled shimeji, daikon radish.
It looks very appetizing, you know, thinly sliced beef, the beef's been seared. Looks like very marbled beef too. Is it Wagyu beef?
Yes, it is.
Looks great.
Well, tuck in.
It's a very delicious plate of tataki. The acidity of those mushrooms and that daikon really offset the richness of that Wagyu beef. It's seared really well. You know, it's not very traditional to do a really hard sear, but it really adds to that end flavour to make your tataki shine. Really delicious.
This is a trio of tatakis, beef, salmon, and cucumber.
Well, look, I love anything served in a lettuce cup. It's great, you know what I mean? And look at this. That's a cucumber salad. Almost reminds me of a Chinese smashed cucumber salad from northern China. But it could be a game changer and it could blow my mind.
You better tuck in.
All right. When I tasted the beef tataki with that traditional dressing, you got the acidity from that dressing and that bonito flavour. It's really tender, it's cut across the grain. I can really taste the shiso inside, really fragrant. The salmon tataki, it's nice. It goes really well with that miso dressing. And I do like the cucumber. These 3 dishes on their own are really quite tasty. They're very nice. But on the same dish, in this case, I think less is more.
Dan, seared tuna tataki.
Wow, it's really stunning. Really, really lightly seared, this tuna. You know, I can spot some enoki mushrooms there, some edible flowers. I hope it's as delicious as it looks. All right, here we go.
There's a few groans there.
That tuna is absolutely melt in the mouth. That sear, ever so delicate, and I love those little vegetables. The pickled ginger really adds that acidity and sweetness to it, and I can really taste smokiness.
Actually, Dan, it's a leek ash aioli.
Well, you know what? I just want more of it. I could eat, a whole bottle full of that stuff. It's one of the best tuna dishes I think I've ever eaten.
Dan, there are 4 dishes on the pass. We'll let you decide.
Our 3 home cooks have just taken on station chef Alex with the Japanese dish Tataki. Judge Dan has tasted all 4 dishes without knowing who cooked what. And now it's judgment time.
Well, night 2 of Japanese week, we have seen discipline, passion, precision. It was really impressive watching all of you cook this evening.
Home cooks, how do you think you went?
I enjoyed this challenge.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how this one went. It was really fun, good one.
I enjoyed too, yeah.
How much would you like to cook against Executive Chef Chase?
It looks a bit scary, so. But it would be good if I could, yes.
Alex, have the home cooks got you nervous?
A little bit. When I look at the dish, they look really amazing.
Well, we had 4 really amazing plates of tataki on the pass, but my favorite dish tonight, although it wasn't a traditional style of tataki, it really tasted Japanese and hit all the right notes. And for that reason, the best plate on the pass is charred tuna tataki. Alex, you look very relieved.
Yeah, I feel so much better. I didn't want to let my executive chef down or my restaurant, so I'm really happy.
Well, I think you did Sokyo very proud. What do you think, Exec Chef Chase?
I'm really relieved too, because it's one of my favorite dishes that we serve at Sokyo. Good job.
Well done, Alex.
Dan, which plate didn't stack up for you this evening?
This was a really hard decision for me, but the plate that didn't live up to my expectations was the trio of tataki.
Oh.
So sorry, Naoko.
No, it's fine.
All 3 components were really delicious. I just thought less was a bit more in this case. Maybe if you just serve the beef on the plate, the 3 components was a bit too much.
Okay.
You should definitely keep cooking. You are a real talent, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry, Naoko. That means that you're leaving us this evening and going home. But congratulations, Station Chef Alex, and to Restaurant Sokyo.
See you next time.
Japanese week is down to 2 home cooks. Anime lover from Perth, Blaney.
Welcome to my kitchen. After I went to Japan the first time, I came back just craving all the flavours and the different types of food.
I love tofu. It's one of the best foods ever.
And health-conscious mother of 2, Larissa.
What I love about Japanese food is, apart from the flavour, it's the ingredients. Not only do they taste great, they're so good for you.
And I like noodles.
They'll both take on the professionals from Sokyo, where executive chef Chase Kojima combines his heritage and expertise to create an award-winning menu.
Can you cut 2 perfect pieces? Here at Sokyo, we specialize on sushi. We focus on pure, clean, simple flavors using Australia's best produce.
Chase, this is everything that Australians love. Japan and Australia coming together. Sokyo pushes the boundaries on traditional Japanese techniques and flavors.
Our slow roasted lamb with aka miso and Vegemite sauce.
That's extraordinary lamb.
Welcome back to the Chef's Line.
Blaney and Larissa, you're the last 2 home cooks. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, great, excited.
Awesome. Yeah, really awesome.
Great. Executive Chef Chase, who's next in your chef's line to cook tonight?
Tonight, it's gonna be Daniel, my sous chef.
Chase, how do you rate Daniel's chances tonight?
I have to say pretty good. It's my right-hand man. Unless he chokes, he should be good.
No pressure, Daniel.
Sous Chef Daniel, please step up and represent your restaurant.
How you feeling, Daniel?
Well, I feel great. The other day, I was sitting over there.
So you'd rather be cooking than sitting, no doubt?
Yes, of course, I'm a chef.
You're a bit nervous cooking in front of Executive Chef Chase?
Yes.
Tonight, we would like to see your best udon noodle soup.
One of the most popular dishes in Japan, this centuries-old recipe has a delicate flavoured broth made from dashi, soy and mirin, which can vary from region to region. When cooked correctly, the wheat-based noodles have a slightly chewy texture. Toppings include vegetables, meat, seafood and tempura.
As you know, one of us will be blind tasting, and tonight, that judge will be Mark.
Well, I better dashi on out of here.
Mark will taste and judge each dish without knowing if it was made by a home cook or sous chef Daniel.
You will have 90 minutes to get your bowls on the pass, so let's cook.
I'm making an udon soup with pork belly and egg and nori. So I'm just starting to cook on pork belly because it needs to cook a long time to make it tender. I mean, pork belly can be the best thing in the world, it can be the worst thing in the world. So yeah, I'm really hoping I can get it tender in the time. First I had to boil the pork belly for 10 minutes. You'll notice like a lot of sort of scum rises to the surface of the water, so you scoop that off. Then I drained it and then put it back in clean water and boil it for 30 minutes. It's boiled twice to sort of get rid of any impurities in the meat, and it just makes it tastier. And I'm just making a dashi stock with some kombu, which is seaweed. Then you put in bonito flakes, which is dried bonito fish, and that's your basic sort of dashi stock.
I'm making my version of an udon noodle soup with a poached salmon. I suppose a risk for me tonight is the dashi stock, which traditionally you make it from scratch. Tonight I'm doing it the way I would at home, which is actually using a dashi stock powder. I add the dashi stock powder to boiling water. I then seasoned it with some soy and miso. I'm actually using a white miso or shiro miso. I particularly like this for this soup because it's a little bit sweeter. I won't add the miso paste yet. I'm going to let it dissolve a little bit in the broth. I think if you put the miso in too early and overcook it, it can become a bit bitter.
The most important thing in this dish is the dashi, the broth, because it needs to be clear and it have that intense flavor. Burrito is traditional ingredient of making stock in Japan. It's fishy and smoky flavor stock. I'm making spicy udon with Australian seafood, including clam pipis, toothfish, and spinal crab. I'm confident because I'm making this every day. Every service, every night, every day lunch, I just become so focused. Once I got the chopping board, I got the knife in front of me. It's like born to be like that, I think.
Mark.
Hi.
Udon noodle soup. What are you looking for in the broth?
What I'm looking for, Dad, is something really earthy, that savoury flavour to it, but that fishy aspect to it as well. So depth of flavour. What I'm not looking for is a udon noodle that's going to fall apart in a bowl. So as long as they've held their integrity, I'll be really happy.
And what do you want in it?
A little bit of bok choy, a little bit of green in there, maybe a little bit of pork belly. That'd be tasty.
It's really important for the pork to be tender. It's getting there. So I think, yeah, maybe another 10 minutes. I'm just draining my dashi stock, so I've had the bonito flakes in there for the flavour, so none of the little flakes get into the soup.
Blaney,
Hey.
tell me about your udon noodle soup.
Okay, well, I've got some pork belly boiling there, which then I'm going to slice. And then I'm going to do some soft-boiled eggs as well, so...
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I love that silky yolk when you do soft boil an egg properly. It really adds some body to the broth as well.
It does, absolutely.
Well, things are smelling really fantastic here.
Yeah.
I'll let you keep
All right,
going.
thank you so much.
Good luck.
Awesome.
Larissa,
Hi, Dan.
udon noodle soup.
Yeah.
What is your version?
The dry ingredients are presented in the bowl with the sashimi salmon, and then the broth will be poured over the top.
Almost like a pho, sort of like...
Yeah, like that
instead
concept.
of the rare beef, you're using
Yes.
sort of like the
Yeah.
salmon and letting it poach.
Yeah.
And did you make your own dashi or...?
No, I did not. As a working mum of two, I always use the dashi powder that's in the cupboard, so that's how I've done it
Well,
tonight.
you know what? My wife also uses dashi powder when she makes udon for the kids. So
There you
this
go.
is a true reflection of your home cooking.
It
And-
is.
Well, it really all comes down to the flavour.
Okay,
Good
thanks,
luck,
Dan.
Marissa.
I do like a little bit of a kick to my broths. Or chilli. I added the chilli spice because it gave a lift to the dish. I'm a little nervous about whether the judges like as much chilli as I do.
Sous Chef Daniel.
Yes, chef.
What makes your udon noodle soup different to a normal udon noodle soup?
Sambal bara.
That's not very traditional Japanese. Sambal is a Malaysian or an Indonesian condiment.
Sambal butter gives more spiciness to my udon dish. I just blend chili paste with the butter. It's going to maximize the flavor.
And what's it like having Chase-san looking over you from behind?
It's make me scared.
Maybe when you're scared, you work with more focus.
Actually, it's motivate.
Motivates you. Okay. Great, good motivation. I like it.
I really think Daniel's gonna do well. He's very organized, but I know that he's a bit nervous, so I just have to hope all the best.
The pressure is on.
30 minutes to go, everyone. 30 minutes.
Our two home cooks and sous chef Daniel are working hard to create their best version of the Japanese comfort food, udon noodle soup. They're hoping to impress Mark, who won't know who cooked which dish when it comes time to taste.
Now I'm making miso soup. If you put miso paste directly in the soup, it is going to be a chunk. So I just blend it and pour into the dashi.
Executive Chef Chase, you've got two home cooks left up against sous chef Daniel. Are you worried about not being able to taste the udon before it goes up onto the pass?
I want Daniel to just focus and make his soup. I mean, he makes it every day at Sokyo. It was really difficult when Daniel was making the soup, and obviously I can't taste it. There's no recipe. Like, it's all about taste, so. And I was worried because he made so little. If he makes it too salty or it's not correct, he had no more base to fix it.
To balance the flavor of the soup, I just put the sambal butter into it. It is very intense flavor.
Other side, please.
Yeah.
After the pork's boiled twice, I braised it in soy sauce, mirin, sake, garlic, ginger. Now it's just sort of simmering away just to get the flavours right into the meat. Normally when I cook the pork like that at home, I don't really have a time. I just cook it until it's ready. So I'm just going to keep cooking it right to the last minute because I like the liquid to cook right down and caramelise a little bit almost.
I'm about to prepare my salmon now. It's a sashimi quality salmon, so it will only be lightly poached in the broth. Because the salmon was a sashimi style of presentation, it was diced, so about 1 centimetre dice to the salmon. You know, in Japanese cuisine, knife work is very important. I will do my best with my knife skills, but they're certainly not to some of the Sokyo chef's standards.
This is toothfish, one of the very, very expensive fish in Australia. And toothfish has like very unique flavor and so fatty. It's more like Wagyu characteristic fish, and it's going to be like melt in your mouth. And then we're going to pour the seafood into the soup. I put pipi first, then I put the toothfish. Almost at the end, I put spinach crab.
Being an udon noodle challenge, I wanted my udon noodles to have a nice chewy texture to them. And because it was a simple dish, I wanted it to look really beautiful. So it was layered, the udon noodles at the bottom, and then the crunch of some snow peas just to give a little bit of texture. So all in little layers in a little mound.
The cooking noodle, we actually cook not all the way, cook just 90%, then put into the bowl and pour the hot soup into the bowl, then it gets cooked 100%.
2 minutes, guys, you got 2 minutes till you need to put your bowls of udon on the pass.
I'm really happy with how the pork turned out. I think maybe a little bit salty, a little bit disappointed with my egg. I think I overcooked it a fraction. But other than that, I'm really happy with how it all turned out.
Quick, Larissa.
I got everything into the dish the way that I wanted it, the way I would have it at home. The sashimi salmon is set in the dish with the other dry ingredients, and then the broth is actually served separately to pour over the dish. I want it to just really lightly poach in the hot broth. It should be a really soft texture to the salmon.
Well done, everyone.
Nice work.
Nice. Good job, man.
My dish is going to be a winning dish on the pass tonight.
Our two home cooks and sous chef Daniel have just presented their best version of the Japanese dish, udon noodle soup. Blind tasting judge Mark will now see and taste their dishes for the first time without knowing who cooked what.
Well, Mark, you missed a really focused battle. These guys were really cool, calm and collected, and it really showed on the pass what they put up tonight.
Wow. Presentation-wise, looks great.
So definitely a high caliber cook.
This is a salmon and miso udon noodle soup.
Ooh.
And you can see that the soup is in a separate beaker on the side. That's right, that's what you're supposed to do, mix it up. And you have to pour it over the salmon, therefore lightly poaching it.
Looking at this, the udon noodles really held its integrity. It hasn't fallen apart, which is really good. Nice chunky pieces of salmon. The salmon's beautiful.
So Mark, you really got to get in there and really slurp those noodles, because in Japan, it's really polite to make sure you're heard.
Now you're talking.
Slurp that. Oh, that's a long one. Slurp it. That's what I'm talking about.
There is a little bit of a spice element in here, but it's not too hot. It really complements this whole bowl. But I can't nail the flavour from the dashi.
This particular udon noodle soup has used dashi powder.
Okay, it would have been nice to taste a dashi, traditionally done, I think, but look, overall, this is a well-balanced bowl and really enjoyable.
This is a pipi and toothfish udon noodle soup.
Ooh, this looks really nice, doesn't it? The colours in there, this is really inviting. Toothfish. This broth is super rich. It is so deep in flavour and it's very creamy, almost.
Yes, it's had butter added to it, a sambal butter to add a little bit of richness.
That's not traditional.
No, it's not traditional at all.
Overall, the noodles are holding together really well. This is a very flavoursome bowl. I think if anything is wrong with this dish, it's just that it might be too rich, maybe too much butter.
Mark, this is a pork and nori udon noodle soup.
Doesn't this look nice?
Well, let's see if it tastes as good as it looks.
Hey. That sounds like a fun time.
This bowl is tasty. It's got real depth of flavour in that dashi. The pork is really tender, it's juicy. They've obviously caramelised it on the outside. You feel really secure eating this bowl.
Well, that's what you want from a noodle soup, don't you, ultimately? It's comfort food.
Overall, this bowl is just so flavoursome. That depth of flavour in the dashi, really nice. The pork could have had the rind taken off it. A little bit chewy there, but otherwise, this is a really nice bowl.
Well, look, we've got 3 bowls of udon on the pass. It's up to you to decide, Mark.
It's going to be tough.
Our 2 home cooks and sous chef Daniel have battled it out over the classic Japanese dish, udon noodle soup. Blind tasting judge Mark has sampled all 3 dishes without knowing who's cooked what. Will home cooking win out over restaurant technique?
Well, it's the 3rd night of Japanese week and Sokyo have really set the bar high with their 2 recent wins.
Home cooks, how much do you want it tonight?
Yeah, it would be wonderful to get through and cook again against Chase. I think that's what we're here for, and yeah, hopefully that happens.
Yeah, we've come this far, so it'd be great to go right to the end.
Chase, how do you feel that Daniel went this evening?
I think he did well. There's 3 good dishes there, and hopefully Sokyo and Daniel did enough.
3 bowls of udon soup, all restaurant quality. It all comes down to flavour for me, and the best plate on the pass was pork and nori udon noodle soup. And here's the thing. How are you feeling?
I was happy with what I made, but I don't think I expected to get the best plate. So, yeah, I'm speechless.
It was just so flavoursome. The depth of flavour that was in that bowl, well done.
Thank you so much. That's, yeah, really, really amazing to hear. Really exciting.
Sous Chef Daniel, how are you feeling?
I still feel happy because I did what I supposed to do. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mark, which plate did not live up to your expectations?
Dan, the plate that didn't live up to expectations for me was the salmon and miso udon noodle soup.
That's mine, thanks, Mark.
Sorry, Larissa. It looks restaurant quality. Theatrically, it was great. Just didn't have that depth of flavour that I was looking for.
So, you know, all 3 dishes look so great up there. I was so pleased to even be comparable to the other dishes that were up there. So good.
I'm so sorry, Larissa, that means you are going home tonight. But congratulations, Blaney, you got best plate on the pass and you get this trophy you're through to the final.
Sweet. Thank you so much.
I think the home cooks actually cooked it really well. Defeated my dish.
It's so cool.
Japanese Week has been a competitive battle of technique and precision between 4 home cooks and the professionals from restaurant Sokyo. And now only 1 home cook remains. Education assistant from WA, Blaney.
Welcome to my kitchen. Japan to me is just a really fascinating place. I love the food, I love the culture, I just love everything about it.
Blaney's love of Japanese animation led to her passion for Japanese cuisine.
I just can't help it, I just love it.
Drawing on experiences from her numerous trips to the country, Blaney has impressed the judges with authentic dishes from the heart.
I love the flavour of the salmon. It's absolutely delicious.
This is a really nice bowl.
And you get this trophy, you're through to the final.
So awesome.
And with the taste of victory under her belt, she's more than ready to take on Executive Chef Chase from Hatted Restaurant Sokyo.
We focus on pure, clean, simple flavors.
Known for his detailed precision and creative flair.
Keep it very minimal, let the produce shine. Kelp made with Japanese sugar.
It's a perfect sushi. The fish is perfect. The rice, I feel like I'm eating sushi for the first time. It's exquisite.
It's up to Blaney to bring authenticity and her A game to the table.
And knowing that I'm going up against the executive chef, it's mind-blowing.
Good evening and welcome to the Chef's Line. Blaney, congratulations on making it to the final of Japanese Week.
Thank you.
How does it make you feel?
A little bit scared, actually. Super excited and happy to be here, but yeah, a little bit nervous.
Blaney, did you ever think that your home cooking would be in the same league as a professional Japanese restaurant?
No, not at all. I mean, I love cooking, obviously, and I've had a lot of practice, but no, I didn't think I'd ever beat any of the professional chefs.
Executive Chef Chase, what do you think of what you've seen from Blaney this week?
She's good under the pressure, I think. She executes really well. I'm really excited, actually. I'm a chef. I want to cook.
Bring it.
You must be itching to find out what you'll both be cooking in the final of Japanese Week. We want to see your best Robatayaki.
Robatayaki means fireside cooking. Items are skewered and cooked over charcoal in a binchutan grill. Binchutan is a charcoal used in Japanese cooking for centuries. It can reach temperatures of up to 1,000 degrees Celsius. Hokkaido fishermen took binchutan on their boats to cook their catch at sea.
And we want to see what kind of things you are going to be grilling over the robata.
Tonight's blind tasting judge is Melissa.
Good luck.
Melissa will try both dishes and choose tonight's winner, but she won't know which plate belongs to whom.
You both have 1 hour till your plate needs to be on the pass. Let's cook.
I'm cooking on this thing, for starters, which is, a little bit daunting. Never used binto-chan box before. So it's a Japanese grill, but the binto-chan is the Japanese charcoal. Yeah, I was a little bit worried about that.
I do feel confident.
I mean, he's the executive chef of a fancy restaurant, so yeah, a little bit scary. He's pretty awesome.
I do have experience under the pressure, and I should be able to execute it well.
I decided on making a mixed plate, which had chicken, speck, spring onions, tofu, and a little side dish of fried bean sprouts. I had chicken thighs, I had chicken wings, and chicken skin because I really like crisping up the chicken skin on the grill. I was trying to evoke memories of eating yakitori in a little smoky izakaya under the train tracks in Tokyo with a couple of beers. That's what I'm going for.
Well, that's awesome because I was recently in Tokyo a couple of months ago and I went to a yakitori restaurant and I had all different parts of the chicken. What parts of the chicken are you using
I've not
tonight?
got anything too crazy tonight, but I have got chicken skin. It's like just the crispy chicken skin. Yeah, I know it's probably horribly bad for you, but it's delicious.
It's good to see you pushing yourself. So, good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck, Blaney.
Tonight I'm making Robatayaki with Alfonsino. It's really delicious and fatty white fish. I think it's the Australian Alfonsino is probably the world's best, I think. I'm gonna cook it over binchotan grill, get the skin nice and crispy with a soy and vinegar dressing. I really want to showcase Australian produce with the Japanese techniques and flavors. With Japanese cuisine, it's all about respecting the produce. I'm just gonna let the fish and the thing do its thing, and it should be very delicious. After I filleted the Alfonsino, I made a really strong brine, maybe like 20% salt into the solution. It's gonna change the whole chemistry about the fish and the water itself. Like it stops from drippage, but this brine is not traditional. It's a bit version of ours with vinegars and brown sugar. So I get my brine quickly. Having only an hour and doing the robata dish, I knew it's not gonna be easy. So right from the beginning, I was going full speed.
Chase, you're moving quite fast.
Oh, limited on time.
What do you love about Alfonsino?
The fat content on it. Like you'll see that fat dripping onto the binchotan, it's gonna smoke it like crazy and so delicious.
And what are you serving with the Alfonsino?
Just really simple, just mushrooms and scallions or negi, where I'm gonna get the skin really crispy. It's like almost like you're eating a scale.
You look like you're really busy. I'll leave you to it.
I kept the fish in the brine for about 20 minutes, and that gives it a really big punch before I put it on the bincho.
Rebecca, what's it like watching Chase-san finally cook?
It's good, it's awesome. He looks like he's got it under control. I know he's a very seasoned chef. Got a lot of faith in him to win this.
And Alex, what's Chase-san like as a boss?
He's moving really fast, right? And then that's kind of his working style. Fast, 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 and go, go, go.
But it looks like he's under the pressure.
No, I think he's not under pressure. I think he just wants to get job done.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, chef.
I decided on making tare, which is just Japanese word for sauce, which is soy sauce, mirin, sake, sugar. Really sort of quite traditional to have with chicken yakitori. I've prepped all my ingredients, most of them anyway. I need to put some on skewers, and then once I've done that, I need to start barbecuing them. I use chicken wings because I love them on a barbecue. They crisp up really nicely, just with a bit of salt and pepper. I use the chicken thighs. That's sort of pretty classic Japanese, and I use a soy sauce tare on those. I'm just doing some spring onions. I haven't really used a robata before. I've used a similar sort of thing, but not with the binto-chan coal, which is pretty full on.
I really love cooking with binchotan. It's not like anything else. The best thing about binchotan, you're just cooking off of dry heat and its own smoke. There's absolutely no fire.
Whoa, look at this. I'm starting a fire.
There's 30 minutes left, guys. We're halfway there.
It's the final of Japanese week. Executive Chef Chase of Sokyo is facing last night's winning home cook, Blaney.
What happens when that happens?
Tonight they're making dishes created using a centuries-old grilling method, Robatayaki.
To me, all the universals of cooking over hot coals apply to Robatayaki. The skill involved in being able to evenly cook meat or vegetables over those coals to make sure that take on that charred, beautiful flavour from the coals, but not overcook. As long as the fundamentals are done right, I'm very open-minded and very excited to try something new and different.
There's a lot of things that can go wrong with cooking the chicken. I put the chicken on the grill. Flames.
Blaney, it's got a bit of smoke happening down here.
She's very inexperienced with that bincho-tan charcoal.
Really hot.
It's a lot hotter than normal charcoal, so as soon as that fat drips from that chicken skin, boom, flames come up. And it burns.
There's the little doors on the side of the robata there. She could close them a little bit. It'll stop the air sucking in from the bottom.
I'm really keen to see whether or not she can really put up a great selection of yakitori up on the pass.
Yeah, the heat's on Blaney, isn't it?
Whoa.
Literally.
Whoa. It did worry me a little bit once the flames started off. I didn't want any of my meat to actually ignite because it'll just burn.
That's really, Blaney, it's really smoky.
I know.
Didn't you notice in the yakitori bars that they use the fan?
Yeah, but the fan makes the flame higher and bigger. I don't want it bigger, I want it to stop. Oh, all right, fine.
What does it do? What did you say it does?
All right, Mr. Smarty Pants. Over that way.
So with the king brown mushroom, the bottom part is a bit tough, so I like to use my knife and kind of give it that score. And I cooked it with oil and a little bit of butter and finished it on the bincho. The spray gun has a mixture of grapeseed oil and soy sauce and a little bit of vinegar. And I'm going to spray it onto the mushrooms while it cooks on the charcoal. It helps the smoke, but also gives it more of that roasty aroma.
This tofu, it's got miso and mirin paste on it. I would normally put it under a grill rather than just do it like that, but I think that'll be okay. The tofu is really simple. I was originally going to do it on the bincha-chan, but I was just worried that it was going to stick, so I ended up doing it on the griddle pan. With the bean sprouts, I just pan-fried in a little bit of sesame oil with a bit of garlic, salt and pepper, so really, really super simple. It's a really nice accompaniment to something like yakitori. Just balances out the flavour. Plus it's vegetables, so you get a little bit of health kick there.
I kept the fish in the brine for about 20 minutes. After that, I wipe it down, skewer it, cook it straight on the bincho. And we wanted to add another element, trying to get the skin really crispy. So by adding rice crackers, you get that. Egg whites is the secret to getting my scales stuck onto the skin. So the coals are really hot, like 800 degrees, and once it hits anything, it starts to smoke. And I'm spraying soy so that it smokes soy into the fish, so you get that caramelization flavor, just the smoke, but you're actually not burning anything. Spring onion cooks really fast. I just coated it with extra virgin olive oil. When you put it on the bincho, it'll smoke right away because all that oil is dripping, and that's all it needs. With these things, there is no recipe or timing. I know when it's done, but it's all eyeball and experience. Feeling the heat, you could kind of guess really close. I cut it in half, and I cooked it perfectly.
We have 5 minutes before we need your plate on the pass. Thank you.
Looks really good, Chef.
Thank you.
Well done, guys.
Looks really good. Yeah, I think I could have done better, but given the circumstances of this thing, I think I did as good as I could.
It smells good, right? I smell robata. Dude, no time. 1 hour is so hard. 1 hour is so hard, man. Oh my God.
The last showdown of Japanese week is over. Home cook Blaney and Sokyo's executive chef Chase have both plated dishes created in the Robatayaki style. Judge Melissa will now try both plates without knowing which was made by Blaney or which by Chase.
Wow, it smells amazing in here. Who doesn't love barbecued meats and vegetables?
I know, like,
really.
if you don't, like, something's wrong with you. Yeah, I don't want to know you, basically. This is Alfonsino Robatayaki.
Gosh, it looks gorgeous. I mean, I love seeing the char on top of each of these pieces of fish, and the smell is just incredible.
That is a king brown mushroom.
Looks juicy.
You know, what I love about this dish is that it looks so refined, but the flavours are so pure and so primal. You have this gorgeous, taste of that charcoal all through the fish and also the vegetables as well. And the fattiness of the fish has kept this dish just so moist and gorgeous.
That is what Alfonsino is. It's quite an oily fish, and I think that was the whole purpose.
Yeah.
It is a little on the briny side. Obviously, that's part of the process of how this fish was kept moist before cooking. A little bit intense, but not a deal breaker. Is it roasted rice over the top of the fish?
It's called subu arare, which is a roasted rice pellet.
Wonderful, really contrasts beautifully with the rich smokiness of the fish. I think that it's paired so beautifully with the mushrooms because of the way the mushrooms have been marinated. There's a beautiful freshness and acidity to it that really, really cuts the richness of the fish without overpowering it. And the sweetness of the spring onion just really rounds out the flavour.
This is a mixed chicken, tofu, and speck Robatayaki.
I really love how rustic and honest this plate of food looks. If I went to an izakaya, I would order a cold beer, sit at the bar by myself, eat a few skewers, and I would be really, really happy. So for me, this plate shows a lot of promise.
Get stuck in, Melissa.
She's getting it all in there.
There's a lot riding on this. I just need to make sure that everything's right.
No, you're right.
You know?
You've got to try everything. Going for the wing. Going for the mid-wing too, my favourite part.
She's teasing us.
I don't know what I'm enjoying more, the fact that I get to eat this in front of you guys or how good this is. Well-chosen parts of the chicken. The wing, the skin, the thigh, they just really sing. Absolutely gorgeous, beautiful smoky flavours there.
The tofu, grilled on a hot plate, brushed with miso and mirin.
I would have liked to have maybe seen a bit of char action on this tofu because I think that you could really take it, but that's okay. Bean sprouts are quite peppery and wilted and they have a nice contrast in texture, and then of course the spring onions are quite sweet and lovely. There's so much variety. They've really thought about how everything will go together as well as how each individual element would taste separately. So a lot of consideration, a lot of respect. A bit heavy-handed on the seasoning, but otherwise I really like the honesty and the purity of this dish. Very Japanese. Well, I think it's a fitting end to Japanese week, so I look forward to being able to deliver my decision.
It's been a fiery final cook-off for Japanese week, with two very different styles of Robatayaki dishes on the pass. Home cook Blaney and executive chef Chase are about to find out from Judge Melissa which of them is taking home the title.
At the end of the day, it's the judge's opinion. I did my best and I hope I win.
I tried my best and I gave it my best, but it's pretty daunting.
Well, it's the final of Japanese week. You guys really brought your A game, and it showed by your two beautiful interpretations of Robatayaki on the pass.
Blaney, how you feeling?
A little bit nervous. It's a pretty tough challenge. The toughest of the bunch, I think.
And Chase?
It was tough. It's not easy. I respect my other chefs more now. It was easy watching, but actually doing it in that hour, it's tough.
Undoubtedly, both plates on the pass tonight exhibited the true spirit of Japanese cuisine, and you should both be really proud of that. But for me, the best plate on the pass tonight was the Robata Alfonsino.
Really, 100% relief. Relief.
Congratulations, Chase. That was an incredible display of the simplicity and the beauty of Japanese cuisine, but also the artistry. How are you feeling?
Yeah, relief. Can't lose. Not in front of my team. Being able to come here, bring my team, yeah, it's magical.
Blaney, your dish also exhibited true spirit of Japanese cooking. I think this is just a celebration of Japanese cuisine right here.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I did the best I could with tonight's challenge. It was my first time cooking with the Binto Chan, so I had a few issues, but I'm really happy what I put up. I've learnt heaps, I've met heaps of cool people, and just knowing that other people appreciate my food, it's been really great, really good fun.
Well, congratulations, Blaney. You are the best home cook of Japanese Week. And congratulations to Restaurant Sokyo and Chase Kojima. You have been showing us all week what Japanese food is all about. So thank you very much and well done.